This week on Live Action News Now, Biden drops out of the presidential race and endorses his VP Kamala. What does this mean for the fight against abortion? Plus, Jon Stewart says this.
You just better hope all that love doesn't lead to an ectopic pregnancy.
And finally, the stunning revelation after the Army Secretary says training has labeled pro-lifers terrorists for at least 7 years. Live Action Nation, let's go. Hello and welcome to Live Action News Now. I'm your host, Juan Garcia. And if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any updates.
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation.
Amid mounting pressure, President Joe Biden has announced he is withdrawing from the 2024 presidential race as the presumptive Democratic Party nominee. In the process, he endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris for president. So what does this mean as far as the battle for life goes? Well, Harris is not just an advocate for legalized unrestricted induced abortion, aka the direct and intentional killing of preborn children. She gained a reputation as both the Attorney General of California and as a U.S. Senator for the state as a staunch opponent of both pregnancy help centers and pro-lifers who attempted to expose information about potentially illegal activity perpetrated by the abortion industry. And as vice president, she went on a nationwide abortion tour in an effort to prove that access to abortion is her top priority. That said, neither the Democratic or Republican platforms adequately reflect the pro-life position. Now this.
The RNC looked like it was turning into the DNC. One of its featured speakers was Amber Rose, founder of the LA Slut Walk and a sex-positive pro-choice internet celebrity.
Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love.
It's all love! It's love! You just better hope all that love doesn't lead to an ectopic pregnancy, because then... the guys know what I'm talking about.
The Daily Show host Jon Stewart, who has returned to the show to cover the RNC and the DNC, had a joke that was meant to be a jab at pro-life laws, which the media and pro-abortion advocates claim put pregnant women's lives at risk in situations such as ectopic pregnancy, but this is a complete fabrication. Insinuating that pro-life laws prohibit treatment for ectopic pregnancy is a lie meant to promote abortion, plain and simple. The truth is that no current pro-life law prevents treatment for ectopic pregnancy because induced abortion is not a treatment for ectopic pregnancy. It's actually pro-choice laws that put women at risk, as women who take abortion pills don't have ultrasounds to rule out ectopic pregnancy. As former abortionist Dr. Anthony Levatino explains, listen to this.
But the only way to rule out an ectopic pregnancy, if you're going to use RU46, is to do an ultrasound. And not everyone prescribing RU46 is getting ultrasounds. There have been deaths associated with RU46, mostly from infections or undiagnosed ectopic pregnancy. Ectopic pregnancy can kill you in no time flat.
Induced abortion is the direct and intentional killing of a preborn child, which means the goal is to produce a dead embryo or fetus. The goal of ectopic pregnancy treatment, however, is to save the mother's life, not kill her child. Because the child is too young still to live outside the womb, he or she will not survive that treatment, unfortunately. This death is a tragic side effect of the treatment, but not the intention of the treatment, which means it is not an induced abortion and is not illegal. And if John had been a subscriber to this channel, he'd already know that emergency care to save the mother, miscarriage management, and of course, ectopic pregnancy removal is legal in every state. Legal. Another letter has been sent to the Secretary of the Army demanding answers about training slides labeling pro-lifers as terrorists. And this time, disturbing information was revealed about just how long soldiers have been receiving this inappropriate training. Photos of a slideshow showing soldiers at Fort Liberty in North Carolina were recently leaked. The slides portrayed the National Right to Life and Operation Rescue as potential terrorist groups. Bullet points on the slide said being anti-abortion and pro-life as well as opposing Roe v. Wade were potential indications of terrorist ideations. Really? The slide contained various examples of pro-life advocacy, demonstrations like protests, life chains, a truth display displaying photos of abortion victims, and more. Counseling at pregnancy centers and on sidewalks was also mentioned, and the slide even included pro-life license plates. Okay, so my best friend, researcher Carol, called me and was like, where's the slide about attacks on pregnancy resource centers and other pro-life institutions? Some organizations were burned in arson attacks, others were left threats written in graffiti, many clinics had their windows smashed, actual acts of terror and violence. I mean, just the other day, we highlighted a pro-abortion woman physically attacking a pro-lifer. Where's that PowerPoint slide at? Pro-lifers are peacefully protecting babies from being killed. It's just insane to label them as terrorists, especially labeling them as terrorists on behalf of people that literally kill babies by the thousands every single day. These are facilities where babies are dismembered, lethally injected in the heart or head, starved to death. No, people who want to save babies from being slaughtered are not terrorists. But let's go after 75-year-old Paulette Harlow, which, by the way, we spoke to the great-grandmother and she only wanted to talk about one thing, and it isn't her impending federal imprisonment for her November 2023 conviction on so-called conspiracy against rights and FACE Act violations in Washington, D.C. It's the baby she's going to prison trying to save. Paulette Harlow has dedicated her life to saving the lives of preborn babies she doesn't know and helping the women that she's never met. But those rescue efforts are now landing her in federal prison under a pro-abortion federal government focused on protecting abortion access instead of women and their innocent children. In 2 weeks, she'll be forced to surrender for her sentencing unless her appeal is successful. You see that granny right there? Does she look like a terror threat to you? Let me know in the comments below. And finally, 3-time Olympic gold medalist Kristen Armstrong recently shared with a local news affiliate the key to her success: motherhood. Being a mom was actually my secret weapon, she told Idaho Today host Melissa Paul. No matter how my day went, I had this little one smiling back at me. Kids remind you of what's really important. Armstrong, who has no relation to Lance Armstrong, has competed as a cyclist in 4 Olympic Games beginning in 2004 in Athens, followed by Beijing, London, and Rio de Janeiro. In 2012, she suffered a collarbone injury and people told her that she didn't think she could come back from it.
And everyone around me said, "You can't come back from this." And at that point, I had to, what I always like to say in my mind is, I have to control my controllables.
Every day, she woke up with the goal of doing her best, and look at her now. Let's go. For the latest in pro-life news, visit our website at liveactionnews.org and follow us at Live Action News on social media. That does it for today's show. I'm Juan Garcia. Thanks for watching Live Action News. Now be sure to like and subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button so you don't miss any updates. See you next time.